Hello everyone! So as promised, we have another online video for everyone to enjoy. Right now, we are going to draw this lovely cat. Her name is Mary, and she lives with my boyfriend and me in our apartment. But she's only a little kitten. We adopted her in October, but she's almost fully grown now. She is, like I said, a lovely thing. She is super sweet, affectionate, and lovely. So we want to express this while we're painting her. So I've included a little video of her. She's on her cat treat, which she does the majority of the day. She's just relaxing. Here, she is sleeping, and this is actually going to be the image of her that we will be painting. This is a watercolor painting I did of Mary that represents her sleeping on our cat tree. When we're all done, this is what our painting will look like. We are doing it in watercolor, and the complicated part of this picture is actually to show her white fur using watercolor. So how do we do that? How do we paint something that's white using paint? How do we do that? So that's what we're going to learn today. To begin, we're always having to draw the help line. So in this video, you can see me very carefully sketching out where the action line will be. So I'm sketching out the space of her spine. Right now, I am separating the help line into thirds. And here, adding a help line for her face. As you can see, I have found the angle by using my pencil, and now I'm separating the help line into half, where I will draw a circle or an oval for her face. Going fairly quickly, but here I'm adding a space for her back leg and her front paw right there. Now I'm adding her ears quickly, just to show the representation of what a cat will look like, because of course you need the cute ears. And they're a third of the size of her head. She has quite big ears. I have added some of the details for her face. As you can see, I separated the face into thirds, and her eyes are actually 1/3 of her face. Then I added the nose and her little cheeks. I'm making sure that the curve of her spine in between her front and her back legs is right. In this scene, I'm just showing you quickly what tools I'm using. So I don't have a lot of paint for this activity because I don't typically paint with watercolors. But this is what I have at home. These are watercolor paint brushes with a soft cloth and very simple paints. So in this picture, what I'm doing here is actually adding all the dark spaces. So I found a way to make the color most neutral, which is adding blue, red, and yellow, but in a very light way, so it all becomes a very neutral kind of brown color. And again, I'm following the shapes of where all the dark spaces will be. So I'm lightly going over it. Again, for watercolor, you want to use as much water as possible on top of the paint so that it's light. Watercolor is actually opposite to acrylic. So in this video, I'm adding smaller details. I'm using a Rowan red color in some of the very dark areas, so that would be underneath her chin, on the side of her neck, on the top of her back, and I'm doing this in very careful brush strokes. Actually, right now I'm adding some black, so I'm using very little water, and I'm going through to outline where her cheeks are, and I also added the colors in her eyes. Also, I added a very soft peach color for her ears. This color was quite complicated to make because I have very limited colors, but what I did is I added this magenta color to the red, and I added a little bit of yellow and a lot of water. I didn't do it everywhere so that I could represent some of the soft fur still in her ears. And here, again, I'm just doing a very soft outlining like we did for the bunny video, if you remember. I added some of the whiskers. I outlined the tail on top of her back and her hind legs. And I did this just to add some more depth to the picture. I also added some magenta plus Roan Red for the outline of the cat tree. And I used a very soft yellow for the background. So yes, this is what the finish looks like. And what else can I say about it? I added some blue underneath her chin just to add some more depth. And yes, I'm quite happy with how it turned out. Again, I'm not a watercolor painter. I mostly specialize in oil and acrylic, so everything is actually opposite. I'm not sure if you students have had a chance to do watercolor. We do offer it in our class using both the abstract flower, and sometimes we also encourage students to try the landscape. Again, I'm just going to quickly say that Young Kang is a very good watercolor painter, but we both specialize in acrylic and oil. So it is quite complicated, but at the same time, it's very fun to try. And these online videos are just encouraging students to try different things. Now, this video is a little shorter than the other ones, but what we're doing is just representing a way to draw the cat from the real life image into a representation of art. These are just a few students' artworks that we encourage students to try painting and drawing and using pen for our cats. So we see different mediums and how to represent the cat in different ways. What's important though is that we're always showing how cute they are, how small they are, and showing a very soft personality, because that's normally what cats have. Soft, sweet personalities. Sometimes cats can be rambunctious, but as we can see from these artworks, the cats that we're painting here are soft and sweet. And thank you for watching this video again. This is Isabella. So I hope that it makes sense, and I hope that it's all nice and easy to follow. I know I was a little fast through the painting system and painting process, but again, it's just to practice. I hope everyone has a wonderful time and hope to see everyone in the studio as soon as possible. Thank you. Bye.